Hi, I'm Nico, and today is one of those days where I was really needing some movement, so I decided to record while I find some movement, which for me means good full body power flow, focusing kind of on glutes and core, and then a good stretch out. So let's start in a seat, wherever feels comfortable for you, just to kind of settle into your space, connect with the breath before we start to move. And start to notice what your natural breath feels like, noticing how much it can tell us about how we're feeling, what we're holding on to, how we're showing up. Does it feel deep or shallow, smooth or sticky? And then before we begin to move, let's take a few really deep breaths together. We'll start by exhaling the air out. Big inhale through the nose to fill. Lift, open, expand as you inhale. And then open the mouth, let it move. 2 more times just like that. Big inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale through the nose. This time hold at the top. See if you can take in every bit of air that you possibly can, filling up through the belly, the heart space. Let the shoulders relax. Let the spine lengthen as you sip in a little bit more. And then exhale out the mouth, let it go. This time as you inhale, let's bring the hands up overhead. Maybe you look to see them touch. And then one time we'll cactus the arms, open up through the heart space. See if you can pull the elbows back behind you to really stretch through the fronts of the shoulders, maybe taking a really gentle baby back bend. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. And this time as you exhale, we'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders, finding a tabletop position. Knees underneath the hips. A few cat-cows. We'll inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart space, lift the chin. And then as you exhale, round through the spine, pull the belly button up. See if you can tuck the tailbone first and let the rest of the spine ripple through. Same thing here. Inhale, tailbone goes first. Let it ripple through the spine, lifting up through the heart space, broadening through the collarbones, and then exhale, cat pose around the spine. This time, inhale, find your neutral spine. So reach the crown of the head forward, reach your tailbone back behind you. Plant down into the hands, tuck your toes underneath your feet, and then hover the knees above the earth just an inch or two. Keep pressing into the hands, lengthening through the spine. Take an inhale to lengthen a little more. And then as you exhale, really feel your hands rooting down into the ground. 2 more just like that. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, ground. Just these subtle movements with the breath. Last one, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep the knees bent, but pull the tailbone up towards the sky, really lengthening through the spine. And this is really important for this first one, to keep the knees bent, not putting too much pressure in the hamstrings to start, but really pressing into the hands and reaching the tailbone up, seeing if you can make your spine as long as it can possibly go. We'll inhale, look forward in between the hands, and then little baby footsteps. Let's walk the feet up to the hands at the front of the mat. Finding a ragdoll pose. Again, bend the knees. This is more about the spine than it is for about the hamstring stretch. Let the head hang heavy, shake it out, sway side to side. We'll inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, release, let it go. One vertebrae at a time, let's roll up to our mountain pose. Shoulders stack up on top of the hips, and then the head comes up last. Roll out the shoulders a couple times, shrug it out. Ground down into the feet. Inhale, upward salute. Reach the hands up overhead. And then as you exhale, we'll find chair pose. Sit the hips low. Keep reaching the fingers high. Ground down into the feet as you sink the hips back. Make sure you can see your toes. If you can't, sink the hips even farther back. Sit down as far as you can possibly go. Maybe your thighs are even parallel with the ground. Look up a little bit more to lift the gaze. As you exhale, we'll swoop the hands down by the hips, lengthen through the spine even more. Feel the shoulder blades roll away from the ears. And then we'll inhale, find half staff, lift the left knee up towards the sky, grounding down into the right foot as the hands come back up overhead. Flex the left foot, pull the shoulders wide. And then we're going to take a couple heart openers here. So keep this left knee lifted. Take an inhale to reach the fingertips up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, cactus the arms, open up through the heart. 2 more times just like that. Inhale, lift. Pull the shoulders back up on top of the hips. And then as you exhale, maybe you press the hips forward as you open up and find the little back bend. Playing with the balance here. 1 more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cactus the arms, open up. Maybe you press the hips even farther forward if that feels okay in the spine. Inhale, reach up. And then as you exhale, we'll find grounded airplane. Maybe the hands come to heart or they can reach to the ground underneath the shoulders. Kick your left foot back as you lengthen through the spine. Rotate this left hip down in line with the right. Really keep that left foot engaged and active. And then what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to keep this long straight line from the left heel out the crown of the head. Keep the hands at heart if that feels good, and then start to bend into the right knee, gently dropping the left toes down to the ground, but keeping that long straight spine. So when you land, you should be in a diagonal line from left heel out the crown of your head. Let's reach back with the hands, reaching towards the left heel. And then as you inhale, high lunge crescent, bend into the left knee to bring the hands up overhead. With the breath, exhale, pull the chest forward, lengthen through the left leg, reach the hands back behind you. Inhale, high crescent, bend the left knee, lift the hands up. Last one, exhale, reach the hands back behind. Inhale, high crescent, hands lift up overhead. Reach the fingertips tall. And then as we exhale, we'll cactus the arms, bend deeply into the knees, drop the left knee all the way down to the mat. Keep pulling the elbows back behind, finding a gentle stretch through the front of that left leg. Next, inhale, pull the hips back on top of the left knee, reach the hands up overhead, flex the right toes. And then as you exhale, bring both hands inside of the right foot, plant down into the ground. And then we're going to stay on this left knee, but swing this right foot all the way back behind us for a 3-legged tabletop. And then we're going to keep this right knee leg lifted, nice and active and strong. Pull the right hip down in line with the left. And then just like we did earlier, but just with one leg, see if you can hover this left knee above the earth. This will be our inhale. As we exhale, we're going to straighten through the left leg, find downward facing dog, pull the right knee towards the nose. As you inhale, bend the left knee, kick that right foot back for that hovering 3-legged tabletop position. Exhale, hips go up, pull the right knee in towards the nose. Last one, inhale, kick the right foot back, bend the left knee. My dog is going crazy behind me. And then exhale, press the hips up and back, right knee to nose, pull it in. Keep this right knee bent. We're going to do a big hip circle. So pull the right knee out wide towards the right, and then big circle, pull the right hip on top of the left, open it up, scorpion pose. Might feel good to do a couple hip circles here, just like we did. One direction and then the other. Find your 3-legged dog, press the right foot up towards the sky. Lizard lunge, bring that right foot forward outside of the right hand. Keep the left knee lifted, left toes tucked, and then move forward and back in and out of that left foot. Maybe you even pull the hips up and straighten through the right leg. And then we'll find Malasana. When you're ready, plant that right foot down, bring the left foot to meet the right at the front of the mat, sit the hips low. Bring the hands together, press the elbows into the knees to lengthen through the spine. And then we're going to find this kind of awkward core here. So we're going to keep the knees really wide, sit the hips down to the earth, and then bring the heels together in front of you. Elbows are still inside the knees. And then as we inhale, we're going to kick the feet forward, straighten the legs, hands will reach up overhead. And then we'll exhale, come back to that crunch. Elbows to the knees. Let's do that 10 times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bring it in. For 9. Exhale. 8. Exhale. Maybe 10 was too many. We're going to do it. 7. Exhale. 6. 5. 4. 3. Last 2. And 1. Pull it up, hold. Bring the knees together, keep the hands together. 10, we'll twist for 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4, you got it. 3. 2. 1. Bring it up through center. Lift tall, boat. And then bring it all down to the ground. Plant the feet underneath the knees. Reach the hands towards the heels. Press into the feet. Lift the hips up towards the sky. Bridge pose. Maybe you scoot the shoulders underneath. Maybe you interlace the hands underneath the lower back. Squeeze inner thighs in towards one another as you press the hips up towards the sky. 4 deep breaths. Gently lower the hips all the way back down to the ground. Bring the knees into the heart space. Give yourself a squeeze. And then when you're ready, you will find chair pose. Start to rock and roll the length of the spine. Maybe for a little challenge, you try to plant the feet without planting the hands. And bend the knees and bring the hands up over the hips. Take a big inhale where you are. And then as you exhale, swoop the hands down by the hips. Maybe this time we find drinking bird by interlacing the hands, pulling the hands down like they were shooting out the base of the spine. Lift the heels up towards the sky. And then maybe you let the heart space melt down towards the knees. Gently let the heels drop down to the ground. As you inhale, half staff, this time right knee rises. Flex the right toes, hands lift up overhead. And then finally alignment here. Pull the shoulders on top of the hips. And as we exhale, we'll cactus the arms, open up through the heart. See if you can lengthen the spine as you do this. Maybe the hips pull forward a little bit. Inhale, come back. Bring the shoulders back on top of the hips. 2 more times. Exhale, pull the hips forward. Lift up through the heart. Inhale, bring it up through center. Last one. Exhale, open. Inhale, bring it up. Grounded airplane or hands at heart center. Kick the right foot back. Find that right hip in line with the left. And then keeping that long straight line from right heel at the top of the head, we'll start to bend into the left knee, dropping the right toes. Pull that left hip back, right hip forward. Keeping the alignment in the upper body, reach the hands back behind you towards the right heel. And then as we inhale, high lunge crescent, bend into the right knee to pull the shoulders on top of the hips, fingertips reach up towards the sky. A couple times, breath to movement. As you exhale, pull the heart forward, straighten through the right leg, hands reach back. Inhale, swoop it up, high crescent. Last one, exhale, reach. Inhale, high crescent, bring the shoulders on top of the hips, lift up through the fingertips, find the shoulders on top of the hips. And then we'll exhale, drop it down, cactus the arms as the right knee hits the ground, or gently drops rather. Hold here, pulling the elbows back behind you. Gentle stretch through the front of that right leg. Next inhale, pull the hips back on top of the right knee, flex the left toes as the hands reach up towards the sky. And then we'll bring the hands inside of the left leg. Ground down into the hands and the right knee, swoop the left leg all the way back around behind you for a 3-legged tabletop position. Keep the right toes tucked, pull the left hip down in line with the right, lengthen through the spine. Big inhale here. And then let's find that hover with the right knee first. So ground down into the hands, hover that right knee. Yeah, engaging through the core. And then we'll exhale, straighten through the right leg, downward facing dog, but pull the left knee towards the nose. 2 more times just like that. As you inhale, bend the right knee, kick the left foot back. And then bring it in, exhale, hips go up, left knee to nose. Last one, lower the right knee, hover it as you kick the left foot back. Exhale, bring it in. Hold. Keep this left knee bent, big open hip circle, bring the left knee out wide until it stacks on top of the right scorpion pose. Maybe you hold here, maybe you take a couple big hip circles one direction, and then the other way. 3-legged dog, press that left leg back and up. Lizard lunge, bring the left foot outside, the left hand, keeping the right toes tucked, right leg stays engaged. Moving forward and back through that right foot fascia. Maybe you choose to pull the hips up and flex the left toes if that feels good. Then drop it low, lift the heart. Finding some movement in what feels good in your body right now. And that might mean stillness. And then we'll find Malasana frog squat. Bring the right foot out wide to meet the left, sit the hips low. Lift up through the heart space, lengthen through the spine. This time maybe you bring the hands forward or up overhead. Ground down into the feet. Let's take 5 breaths to find a stand. So press into the feet, slowly lift the hips. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Upward salute. Bring the feet about hip width distance apart. As you exhale, cactus the arms, open up through the heart. Inhale, reach tall, fingertips lift. Exhale, dive over the hips, forward fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, plant the hands, gently walk the feet back to your high plank position. Really ground down into the hands, shoulders open up wide towards the sides. And you're actively at the same time opening up the heart space towards the mat and pressing into the hands to open up the back between the shoulders. Lift the gaze a little bit so the head's in line with the spine. And then let's take a few breaths just moving in and out of the feet and the wrists. So as you inhale, charge the heels forward, shoulders come forward. Exhale, rock it back. Inhale, heels forward. Exhale, bring it back. Last one, inhale, charge the heels forward. Maybe you flip to the tops of your toes. Hold for 3, 2, release all the way down to the mat. Cobra pose. As you inhale, roll the shoulders back towards the hips, open up through the heart. Exhale, release, let it go. 2 more times just like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Last time, inhale, open. Exhale, let it go. Tuck your toes underneath your feet. Inhale through a tabletop, and then exhale to your child's pose, knees wide. Heart space releases down to the ground as you reach the fingers forward. Next inhale, find tabletop again. Bring the shoulders on top of the wrists. We're going to bring the knees underneath the hips. And then we're going to pull the hips forward just a little bit so that the shoulders are on top of the wrists. And this is kind of an elongated tabletop position. So the wrists aren't directly underneath the shoulders, but maybe a handprint farther forward. Keep the hips where they are. And then as we exhale, we'll find our chaturanga push-up, but keeping the hips high. So drop the heart space down, lift the chin. And then as you inhale, press into the hands, lift. Exhale, drop the heart space. Inhale, lift. Last one, exhale, drop the heart space. This time we're slowly going to start to press the hips down towards the mat, and as you do, your heart space will lift. Finding upward facing dog. Tuck your toes underneath your feet, exhale, downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. Alu, you're in my way. Yeah. She likes to be close. Let's really ground down into the feet, and then as you inhale, find your 3-legged dog. Right leg goes high up towards the sky. We'll hold here, really pull the right hip down in line with the left. And then as you exhale, right knee to nose, pull it in as your shoulders come forward to your high plank position. Hold here. Keep the right knee where it is, but lengthen through the spine, lift the chin to find the high plank. And then we'll bring the right knee to the right elbow, tap. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. 2 more times, inhale, right elbow. Exhale, left elbow. Last one, inhale, right elbow. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale, 3-legged dog, right leg goes high. Hold. Really energize through the right toes. Maybe you point and flex the right foot a few times. Roll out through the ankle one way and the other. Runner's lunge. We'll bring the right knee towards the nose. Gently plant the right foot inside of the right hand. And then we'll find power lunge. So just like we did earlier, but this time the hands will be up overhead. Long straight diagonal line from left heel at the crown of the head. Warrior 3, start to launch onto the right foot. Nice, smooth, and slow. Reach the fingertips forward as the left foot lifts. Bring the hands to heart center. We'll bend the left knee. Pull it through to your half staff. Bring the shoulders on top of the hips. Left knee lifts up towards the sky. Maybe you kick it forward. That's our inhale. As we exhale, swoop the left leg back. Warrior 3 with hands at heart. Bend the left knee. Inhale, bring the shoulders on top of the hips as you kick the left foot forward. 2 more times. Exhale, swoop it back. Bend the knee. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, swoop it back. I'm so bad at counting. Let's do one more. Inhale, bring the left knee forward. Exhale, swoop it back. Yes, I had a hard time counting to 2. And then we'll hold here. Keep the spine long, open it up, half moon. Right hand drops as the left hand lifts. Pull the left hip on top of the right. Expanding in all directions. For 3, 2. Warrior 2, start to bend into the right knee. Gently drop the left foot down to the ground. Reach through the fingertips. And then as you inhale, straighten the right leg, right toes lift. Maybe you look up to see the hands touch. Exhale, sit it low, warrior 2. 2 more, inhale, lift, straighten the right leg. Exhale, sit it down. Last one, inhale. Exhale. This time, inhale, star pose, straighten both of the legs. And then we'll exhale, Skandasana to the back of the mat. So toes out, heels in, bend into the left knee, hips sit towards the left heel. And we'll take some hip mobility here. So if it feels okay in the hips, if it doesn't, you can stay right here in Skandasana or here. But we'll see if we can gently drop the hips down to the ground. And then once they're there, we'll drop the left knee in towards the right. Hands can be wherever feels good. Plant down into that left foot again. Bring the left knee wide, lift the hips, Skandasana. Do that a couple more times. Gently drop the hips down to the earth. Bring the left knee towards the right. Bring it all the way back up, Skandasana, lift the hips. Last one, gently drop the hips. Left knee comes in. Bring the left knee back out, lift the hips. Okay, long spine, careful on the hips. Moving back into warrior 2. Plant down into the right foot, open up through the arms. Take an inhale, find your reverse warrior. Right hand goes up and back, lengthen through the right side body. And then as you exhale, extended side angle, drop the right elbow down to the right knee. Left hand can go up towards the sky or reach overhead. If you want to find a bind, option 1 is half bind. Left hand reaches back behind the back for the right hip crease. If you want the full bind, right hand will reach underneath the right thigh, reaching for the left hand underneath. Pull the left shoulder on top of the right. Stay with the breath. Gentle release. Extended side angle, lengthen through the arms. As you inhale, find your reverse triangle. Straighten the right leg as the right hand comes up overhead. Big, long right side body. And then as you exhale, we'll find revolved triangle. So cartwheel the hands down. You'll bring the left hand inside the right foot. You can scoot the left foot in a little closer towards the right. And then the right hand will go up overhead. You can keep a micro bend or a deep bend in the right knee, stretching through the right IT band. Ground down into the left hand. We'll slowly take it into an easy twist. So start to bend deeply into the right knee, pressing that left foot to the back of the mat. Reach the right fingertips up towards the sky. Side plank, plant down into the left hand, come to the outside edge of the left foot. Bring the right foot back in front of the left. Right hand will reach up towards the sky. Bring the right hand to the back of the head. Ground down into the right foot and then squeeze the left ankle towards the right knee. And then as you exhale, crunch it in, right elbow towards the left knee. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Maybe you kick the left foot in front of you, straight out from the belly button for 3, 2, 1. We'll kick the left foot back behind us as we drop the right hand, finding 3-legged plank. Hold here. Keep the left foot lifted. We're going to take 3 chaturanga push-ups. Inhale, charge the right heel forward. Exhale, come halfway down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, halfway. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, halfway. This time we'll drop it all the way. Drop the left foot. Upward facing dog. Lift the heart space. Exhale, downward facing. Hips go up and back. Take a few breaths here. If you prefer child pose, that's always an option. Moving into our left side. When you're ready, ground down into the right foot. Left leg lifts up towards the sky. Hold here, finding 3-legged dog. Drop the left hip in line with the right. It doesn't matter how high this left leg is, just make it really straight and strong. And then next exhale, we'll pull the left knee towards the nose, bring it in. Finding a high plank with the left knee squeezed. Hold here. Keep the left knee where it is, but lengthen through the spine. As we inhale, we'll bring the left knee towards the left elbow. Exhale, right elbow. 2 more. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. 3-legged dog, left leg goes high. Hold. Sorry for the background noise if you hear it. It's the problem with recording outside is that you get trash trucks and animals. Roll through the left ankle, point and flex the left foot. And then we'll find runner's lunge, bring the left foot inside of the left hand, front of the mat. Power lunge. So find the stance first in the balance, and then when you're ready, find the spine to lengthen or continue the line from the right leg. Hands reach out the crown of your head. Warrior 3, launch onto the left foot. Lift the right leg as the fingertips reach forward. Bring the hands to heart center. Bend the right knee nice and slow. We'll find half staff. Bring the shoulders on top of the hips as the right knee lifts. Kick the right foot forward in front of you. That's our inhale. Exhale, swoop the right leg back. Refind warrior 3. Inhale, bring it up. Kick it forward. Exhale, warrior 3, bring it back. Last one. Inhale, bring it up. Kick it forward. Exhale, bring it all the way back. Nice and slow. We'll find half moon. Start to drop the left hand. Right hip stacks on top of the left as the right fingertips reach up towards the sky. 3 deep breaths. Warrior 2, bend into the left knee. Gently drop the right foot as gently as you, quietly as you can. Find the alignment. Shoulders on top of the hips, ribs in line with the shoulders and the hips. As you inhale, straighten the left leg, lift the left toes, hands reach up overhead. Exhale, warrior 2. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sit it low. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. This time, inhale, star pose, straighten both of the legs. Toes wide, heels in. Skandasana, sit the hips towards the right heel as the hands come to heart center. Or we'll find that hip mobility movement. Drop the hips down to the ground. Gently drop the right knee down to the earth inside the left knee. And then we'll bring it all the way back up. Plant the right foot down, lift the hips. 2 more times. Gently lower the hips. Right knee drops towards the left. Bring the right knee up. Lift the hips. Last one, drop the hips down. Right knee comes in. Lift the right knee, pull up the hips. Warrior 2, plant down into the left foot, nice and smooth. Open up through the arms, refine the alignment. As you inhale, reverse your warrior, nice long left side body. Exhale, extended side angle, drop the left elbow to the left knee, right hand goes up. Again, option for the half bind, reaching the right hand back behind you for the left hip crease, or full bind, reaching for the hands underneath the left thigh. If you do, make sure your right shoulder is not dropped down towards the ground like that. Really lift the right shoulder up, and if that does not feel accessible, maybe you just start with a half bind. Gently release, find your extended side angle. We'll inhale to reverse triangle, straighten through the left leg, left hand lifts up overhead. To revolved triangle, cartwheel the hands down. I like to click my right foot in and make my right toes at a 45-degree angle. Hips square off towards the front. Right hand drops inside the left foot as the left hand reaches up overhead. Micro bend in the left knee or a deep bend, whatever feels better for you. Easy twist, start to bend into the left knee, plant the right hand as you press the right foot back. Side plank, come onto the outside edge of the right foot. Left foot will stack right in front of that right foot. Bring the left hand back behind the head. Right ankle squeezes towards the left knee as we inhale, lift the left elbow. Exhale, left elbow toward the right knee. 2 more, inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Maybe you play with kicking that right foot forward, holding above the ground for 3. Let it shake for 2. 3-legged plank, kick the right foot back as the left hand drops. Keep the right foot hovered, 3 chaturanga push-ups. Inhale, charge your left heel forward. Exhale, come halfway down. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale, this time all the way into your upward facing, pull the heart space through. Exhale to downward facing, hips go up and back. Inhale, right leg goes high. Exhale, pigeon pose. Bring the right knee to the right wrist, right ankle to the left wrist. Maybe a different hip opener feels better for you, but I like to look behind me, make sure my foot's not sickled. Right, left toes are reaching from the left ankle. Lift up through the heart space, and then maybe drop it down, sleeping the pigeon, letting the heart space and the forehead rest down towards the earth. Feel free to stay here a little longer if you would like to. If you're ready to shake it out, we'll plant the hands again. Tuck the left toes. You can move through whatever you want to shake it out, but I'm going to move through a wild thing. So I'm going to bring this right hip all the way on top of the left. And one game I like to play with myself is coming to the outside edge of this left foot. And a lot of people will drop these right toes in first, but I like to see if I can kind of get into the position, lifting my right hand and then opening up through the heart. And then at the very last moment, I'll drop the right toes, press the hips up towards the sky. Refinding downward facing dog. When you're ready, plant the right hand. Maybe pedal out the legs. Pigeon pose other side, 3-legged dog, left leg goes high. Bring the left knee forward. Maybe look back behind to make sure that your right foot's not sickled. Open up through the heart space. Find your sleeping pigeon if that feels nice. Again, stay here as long as you would like. If you need a little more time, if you're ready, we'll plant the hands, tuck the right toes, find your three-legged dog, left leg lifts up towards the sky, maybe moving into Wild Thing. Maybe you play with that, moving into it without dropping the left toes, really opening up through the heart space and then dropping the left toes at the last minute, pressing the hips up towards the sky, open up through the heart space, and then that counter pose to pigeon. And then we'll find downward facing dog, lift the hips, camel pose, gently drop the knees down to the earth, hands lift up overhead, and then you can bring the hands to the lower back, lengthen through the spine, take an inhale. And then keeping the hips where they are, keeping the sternum lifted up towards the sky, opening up through the heart as you find your back bend. Maybe it feels good to reach the hands towards the heels. If you do, keep trying to press the hips and the sternum up towards the sky. Deep breaths. Release, bring the hands to the lower back, lift up through the heart space. Gently drop your hips down to the heels. Bring the hands down to the thighs. Palms facing down if you need some grounding. Or palms facing up if you need a little bit more receiving today. And I know it's a simple gesture, but it's less about the act of actually grounding or receiving here, and rather just asking yourself what you need. I think we live in this time where we're giving and giving and giving and grounding so that we can be there for others. But a lot of times what we really need is to just let ourselves receive help from others, receive support. We'll find a seated forward fold. So rock onto one hip and swing the legs around, flex the toes. Find the sit bones, lengthen through the spine. Option to stay right here or start to walk the hands. See if you can keep the spine long as you find the fold, dropping the heart space down. We'll slowly start to release, walking the hands back towards the hips, finding Shavasana when you're ready. Slowly rolling onto the back. Feel free to take any other poses that might feel good. Letting the arms and the legs go long, the most important part of practice. And we'll take one last big breath together. Inhale through the nose to fill. Lift, expand, open again. See if you can take in as much air as you possibly can. And then open the mouth, let it all go. If you would like to stay here a little longer, I always encourage staying as long as you can. If you're ready to start moving again, we'll reach the hands up overhead. Take a full body stretch and a few big, deep belly breaths. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze and then roll onto one side. letting yourself sit. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. As always, if you have any questions or comments or requests for the next class, please let me know. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.